I fired a client who signed a $20,000 deal with me, and I honestly would do it again tomorrow. $10,000 upfront, then the next five and five over the next 2 months. You see, I saw the red flags on the very first call, but I took the money anyway because I honestly wanted the win. And that decision cost me more than that deal was honestly ever worth. Not necessarily in dollars, but in something more important that you can't actually get back. So, in the next few minutes here, I'm going to walk you through exactly what happened, what taking the wrong client actually cost you, and the one rule that I use now so that way I never make this mistake again. Because if you're at the stage where you say yes to anyone with a pulse and a credit card, this is the video that saves you from the most expensive lesson that I ever personally paid for. So let me go ahead and set the scene because the context is honestly the whole point. You see, this was one of my first fresh clients after working with my first partner, Alexis, the guy who really helped put me on the map. So I was honestly hungry. I wanted to prove to Alexis and everyone else that it wasn't just a fluke, that I actually knew what I was doing and that I could do it again with someone new. And then this guy shows up, another coach, ready to sign a $20,000 deal, 10 grand up front, 5 in 30 days, 5 in 60. And honestly, on paper, it was exactly what I wanted. But here's the thing. On that very first call, I felt it. He was like hard to pin down, vague when I asked direct questions, a little too focused on like the flashy stuff and not at all interested in the boring work that actually makes the money. And my gut was quietly telling me that this guy was not all in. But what did I do? I simply ignored it. Because, $10,000 was sitting right there. And when you're hungry, money has this way of talking way louder than your gut. See, it whispers, just take it, you make it work, you're good enough to carry him even if he's not fully in it. So I signed with him. I told myself the standards could come later. Right now, I needed the win and the cash up front. And I'd be selective when I was bigger. That sentence right there was the mistake. And I want you to really hear it because honestly, it is the exact lie that keeps most creators stuck. You do not get to be disciplined later. You are either disciplined now or you pay for it now. So I got to work. And look, one thing about me is I don't really half build anything. I built this guy the whole backend. I wrote him the ebook to bring the leads to the front door. I built him the high ticket mechanism behind it. I structured the offer, mapped out the funnel, and laid out the entire machine the way it was supposed to take him from scattered to being able to scale his business. Weeks of my best thinking, the good hours, the sharp ones, the early mornings when my head was the clearest, that's when I poured into him. And then he slowly started to disappear. First, it was a missed call. Then he went quiet on the messages. Then the answers got shorter and slower. And then they just stopped. The guy who was so ready to hand me $20,000, honestly, just a few weeks earlier, would not even get on a 30-minute call to actually use what I had built for him. Because look, I had built the whole machine for a ghost. And here's the part that honestly stung me the most, and it wasn't even really his fault. It was mine. The red flags were there on day one, okay? He told me who he was on that first call and the way he showed up. And I chose to listen to it because the money was just louder. He didn't change on me. I just refused to see him clearly because I was so hungry and I just wanted the deal. So I made the call. I fired him. I walked away from the rest of the money, the 5 grand and the other 5 grand that I had never even collected, and I just let it go. I honestly just had to move on from the situation in my own head and just get on to the next thing. Now, a lot of people hear that and they think that the lesson is about the lost money, but it's not even about the money. That wasn't even the real cost. Here is the real cost in this entire thing. While I was actually chasing this guy, sending follow-ups, rebuilding things that he never even looked at, wondering what it was that I did wrong, there were clients on the other side of my calendar who were all in, right? People who actually showed up to every single call. people who did the work, people who actually deserved my best hours. And look, those people got my leftovers because a no-show client was honestly eating the energy that my real clients should have gotten. And that is honestly the true price of taking on the wrong client. It's not just the unpaid invoice, it is the actual opportunity cost. You see, every yes to the wrong person is a quiet no to the right one. And look, honestly, it goes even further than that. A client who doesn't show up, they don't get results. And a client with no results is a reflection of you. Whether you think that's fair or not, it's the truth. So now you understand that the wrong client isn't just draining your time, he's denting the exact reputation that you're trying so hard to build. Look, I paid $10,000 up front to learn that lesson. Honestly, kind of cheap, especially for how hard that is stuck. So here's a rule that I eventually came up with after the situation. So go ahead and write this one down. Never let the money decide whether something or someone is the right person or opportunity. You see, the money is the last thing you should look at, not the first. First, you decide if they're all in, right? If they're coachable, if they'll actually do the work and show up, and more importantly, let you help them win. If the answer to any of that is no, then it does not matter what the number is attached to them. The deal is a trap with a check stapled to it. Look, I have a hard standard now, and I hold it even when it looks like that it costs me. I'd rather have 1 to 3 clients who are 100% committed than 10 who are just kind of half in, even if the 10 pay more upfront. Because the 3 make me more money, make me more proof, and honestly make me more proud and honored of the work than the 10 that just make me tired. And look, this is the part that I really need you to understand here, okay? Because it's the whole entire reason that I'm actually telling you this story. Your standards are the system. See, everybody wants to talk about, the funnels and the offers and the scripts. And look, don't get me wrong, those matter. And I do build them every single day. But before I did any of that, the first system in your business is who you let in. If you let in the wrong people on the front door, no funnel on earth saves you. You see, what I used to think is that I had to earn the right to be selective once I actually hit some point. But realistically, I had it backwards, okay? Being selective is how you hit the number. The discipline isn't the reward for making it. The discipline is the thing that actually makes you make it. See, you don't build the standards later. You need to build them now when it's actually the hardest, right? When the money is allowed and you're hungry and every single part of you wants to just take on the deal. You see, that is the moment that actually decides what kind of business you're building. Now look, I don't regret that client anymore, okay? I'm almost actually just grateful for him because he taught me at the cheapest price I'll honestly ever have to pay it, that the goal was never just about making money. The goal was to build something I actually respect, something that has a standard with people that I'm honored to do it with. $10,000 in year 1 of my business felt like a fortune. But the thing that guy really gave me was permission to say no, to stop confusing motion with progress, to stop letting the credit card override my judgment. Now, every single client I take is someone that I'd actually be proud to put my name to. And look, that's not a luxury that I earned after making it. That is the discipline that honestly got me here. So look, if you're sitting there right now with a deal in front of you and that quiet feeling in your gut is actually telling you that maybe something's off, I think you should listen to it. You see, the money will find you again, I promise you. The wasted weeks will never, ever come back. Take the right people, build the right thing, protect your best hours like they're the most valuable thing that you own, because the truth is that they are. Now, knowing you should say no is one thing. Actually knowing how to say no and who to say it to before they ever even pay you, see, that's the part that honestly most people never quite understand. So that's the exact next video for you. I break down why I turn down clients on purpose now, even good paying ones, and the filter I run on every single lead first. That's linked in the description. Go ahead and check it out, and I'll see you